Hello, hello. I don't know if we've got any gamers in the chat yet, but I'll just get the stream going regardless. And let me just make sure I've got everything set properly. We're already into the draft. Oh, no, this isn't the right draft. Right, yeah, we just accidentally picked the best of 5 draft maps, and then the knockout phases were best of 7s until semi-final, where I think we're actually in best of 9s. And it'll be interesting. I think both these players prefer the sort of more just land maps. They're both more AOE2 players, Redlash and IamJeo here. And it should be a pretty close series, I think. I actually forgot to turn this off. There we go, get rid of those. So yeah, Hill Country for Geo first. Obviously, Highlands are still going to be the first map of the series. Citadels from Redlash, though. Okay, he goes for the walled maps. I can't really remember what maps Redlash does actually choose in his series, but I felt like it was more the just land maps. Yeah, Geo just going Sahara again. He did pick that in his last series against, was it Yeti he played against? Let me just quickly check. Was it Yeti that was in the same group as? Yeah, Mini Yeti. Did actually lose on that map in the end against Yeti Sumerians. And yeah, with the best of 7, we're going to get quite a few more maps in play. Continental. A little bit of a hybrid map, but obviously mostly comes down to the land play on the continental map. Might just get ready with this for the next one. Is it just going to be another land map for maybe Alliance for Geo? We just go Oasis, okay, so you like some more open maps. I think Geo likes to have those maps where it's usually a little bit harder to wall. It'll be easier to go aggressive in and inside out. So in fact, yeah, Redlash actually going for a more defensive approach. And just gonna, that's not the right thing I was trying to do. I was trying to screen, there we go, on this. And we'll go straight into the Civ draft as well. Go Geo. He's spotting Geo. I mean, it's a very close series between him and you. Yeah. I think this should be a pretty close game. I think like Geo was like practicing the game when it was like group stages. He was playing a lot of practice games, and like I said, I think both these players are more AOE2 players. But Geo was putting a lot of time into the game. Redlash, I think, because Redlash played in the 2v2 tournament, I think he was the stronger player. And if Geo kept playing more in the last few weeks, I think maybe I would have given this to Geo. But I've not really seen him playing that much in the lobbies recently. So I don't know. We'll see. I think both players are reasonably solid macro-wise. And maybe a little bit of lack of knowledge, full knowledge of the game. But they're reasonably solid players, like I said, just because of the AOE2 experience. And we'll see who we. So yeah, even though it's best of 7 now, this first 2 picks are still hidden, and then we just do the rest of the draft as per. So we did see Minoan's picked early rounds, but there's no real water maps here. So yeah, more usual Latvia and Shang. Interesting that Redlash goes for the Latvia. I guess in a way, I thought about this like the other time. Was like in a way, if like you go Latvia, and then they go, because sometimes the other person picks Latvia as well. If they both go the same civ, then you get. I feel maybe it's still better going Shang first. Hittites though picked up. They can be strong on either Inside Out or Citadel with the +1 to the archer damage. Not as good on the water maps. I don't think that will be a Conti pick. Just trying to look through. I know Greeks are being played a lot on Citadels. Yamato picked up by Geo. Yeah, I mean, in the end, the series yesterday we had quite a few. I mean, maybe not. We just had Mediterranean and inland. Maybe there was another water map, actually. I think maybe it was only those two. But yeah, like I said, I think Geo just prefers their land maps. But I've noticed he picks Yamato quite a lot. He likes the flexibility of having the cheaper archer ranges and stables. And Egyptians, possibly for either Inside Out or Citadels. Assyrians, locked in by Redlash. I know myself and a lot of other players think not very highly of the Assyrians, but Minoans as well. I guess Minoans can be played unlike Citadels, but possibly take advantage of the cheaper docks and cheaper ships on Conti as well. So what have we got left in the tank? We still got Phoenicians is one of my favourite civs. Greeks does get picked up now. Like I said, Greek seems to be very popular on Citadel at the moment. It's just very hard to... I mean, you can still get early aggression in with slinger rushes and stuff on Citadel, but Greeks normally can get to the Bronze Age pretty reasonably well, where they can start getting into their hoplite spams. And that to combine with their siege, with the full siege tech units access. And Chosen as well. I think I have seen Geo play Chosen a few times. Not many players pick that so much. They can be quite aggressive, but I think a lot of players tend to go to the more eco-based civs, like the Phoenicians or sometimes even the Persians. So the Persians does get picked up now. Persians could be good for Sahara or Oasis if either the players go for that. But again, Phoenicians and Romans still on the table, and Cimmerians, I know Yeti quite likes the Cimmerians himself. So maybe I think they have it pretty strong on the more closed maps with the faster firing stone throwers now. Macedonians picked up for Redlash. Again, Phoenicians, I guess the Phoenicians don't have like that specific of identity, but just that wood bonus is just so strong on them that I always like picking them myself. But these two players not valuing them that much. Don't know why I couldn't get that word out there. Sorry. Carthaginians as well in here. Alright, unrestricted. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's been a little bit quiet at the moment. What maps were taken? I'll finish off the draft and I'll flick back over to the maps afterwards. But yeah, like Assyrians, like I feel like Phoenicians, Romans just better. Palmyrans is Geo's last pick. And I feel like this is a crime that Phoenicians haven't been picked at this point. A little bit upset about that. There's only Conti as a water map. Like so, I'll show you that in a sec as soon as this last pick gets put in. But yeah, I think Cimmerians does get locked in for Redlash. That can be very strong on those closed maps. So I'll just quickly go back to the maps that are unrestricted. So we've got Citadel, Inside Out, and Conti, and Hill Country, Sahara, and Oasis. So I guess you probably, yeah. I mean, Shang, Yamato, Egyptians, Greeks. I think these 4 picks are pretty solid for Geo. I feel like either the Romans or Phoenicians could probably. I mean, Yeah, I think I'd prefer Romans or Phoenicians to any of these three civs. Palmyrians can be pretty good on quite a few maps, if especially the more closed maps. Maybe he's been practicing it. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's been practicing Palmyrians. Maybe. I think they're a lot more forgiving in RTR than they are in DE, just because you always know where those starting berries are. Palmy for Oasis. I mean, that would be a ballsy move. I wouldn't personally do that myself, but I feel like Palmy, you could go like maybe inside out Citadel, but then he's got Greeks and Egyptians, which you'd think those were those civs there. So yeah, where is he going to use Palmy actually? Maybe it is. Maybe he's just gone for the mad play. I feel like Chosen and Carthaginians would be like maybe better on the more open. I don't know. I think Chosen's like a little bit too awkward on the 3-player map. Maybe it's just Conti for the. No, he can't be. Surely not. Yamato. I mean, he used Yamato on Sahara that other time. Don't know what his Conti said. Actually, no. On Conti, he did play Chosen before. He just played for the land, I think, on Conti. And yeah, like sort of like the actual land area on Conti is a bit smaller. My Baito. Is it just like the default Baito? I don't think anyone bother checking it. I think I like clicked on it. Oh right, yeah, Battle Royale. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll think about setting that up in the future. I'm not really too bothered about it. Like, I don't know how many people ever really check it. But yeah, Phoenicians and Romans not being in the draft is my biggest question mark here, I guess. Not that they're not. I feel like Romans aren't as strong as they used to be, but Phoenicians is just a really nice civ that they've got like basically they can play basically anything in the Bronze Age, and like I said, that wood bonus is just very nice. My AOE2 Rex unfortunately is being a bit rubbish. Hopefully that loads up for me. Okay, yep, so they're in the lobby now. Yeah, maybe we'll have a look at updating the Twitch thing after this stream. But yeah, again, I'm not really that fussed about it. It's not. I could probably maybe put like a couple of graphics in it or something to make it look a little bit nicer. But I feel like most of you are here to see what's on the screen here, not what's in the description. Or I hope so, at least. We'll just have to keep updating AOE2 Rex because I know for some reason it's like a bit rubbish at updating recently for me, at least. Let's have a look. Like I said, I feel like I mean, I did do the announcement in the announcements chat, but it doesn't seem like many people around. I guess neither of the players in this game are like well-known AOE1 community players, which is a little bit sad because I feel like these guys are both pretty strong players. All right, KT. Like I said, I think this will probably be a pretty close series. And we are away on the Highland map, so I will get us loaded in real quick. Like, I think Geo was our biggest mistake for the seeding. And we've got the Latvia and Shang on Highlands, which is pretty tried and true. We see a lot of Shang mirrors and Latvia Shang on Highlands. Two just very strong early game civs with their 2 bonuses. Yes, I'm a little bit surprised. I don't normally see that many delays, and if it is a delay, I think like when I was doing it, I put like 1 minute delay myself, just because I found when I was like casting, that 1 minute delay like gives the caster a chance to like get everything set up and into the game and not miss any of the early game. So I actually put the 1 minute delay to actually help whoever was casting my games. So hopefully that was appreciated. I think it was Unrestricted who casted all my games. Yeah, I think you probably don't need like the full minute. If you could set it to like 30, 40 seconds, something like that, that's pretty much all you really need. But it's just like, I found that I've just like when I'm talking, discussing stuff, and like having to sort out AOE2 Rex, like if there's no delay, or get into the game and you'll miss. I mean, not much usually happens in the first couple of minutes, right? But you still want to sort of like load in pretty much as soon as the game starts if you can. Might have a little sneaky look at it. So yeah, you can see red. Oh, okay. I was going to say the results of them in their AOE2 games, but I only very briefly saw that before the game kicked in. I don't know why this is what's going on here. Is that like a weird setting? That feels like a team. Oh, they're not locked. Have they not like locked teams or something? That's interesting. I mean, I don't think that matters. There's like maybe a little settings thing that they've maybe messed up there. Excuse me. That's my lunch coming back up. I do apologise. Yeah, but like I said, Geo on the Shank and Lakviat for Redlash. And again, they're both with the very strong early game bonuses. Redlash, Lakviat with the faster berries, and obviously the cheaper vills for the Shank, which isn't just an early game bonus, but it's very strong in the early game, obviously. And neither player, I was going to say no, neither player going for the elephants, but Geo actually is. He says spot the one. His orange colour sort of blended in with the map a bit. And he does actually have both of his, like two elephants. I was going to say both of his elephants, but I think, yeah, these are just the central elephants. So I think he's actually going to get probably 3 elephants here. And I don't know why he didn't tag this one. He might lose his villager doing this. Yeah, very clumsy. He could call re here. Yeah, he does. But that was a little bit clumsy by Geo. He literally only had like a couple, had like 3 seconds left. I don't really know why he did that the way he did do that. Like, because he snakes around like this. I don't even like. Why does he like? Surely you go through the middle, tag this. Oh no, he does go through the middle there. But then I don't know. That was kind of just a little bit clumsy. I mean, that would have been really good for him though, because he would have got the 3 elephants. But I guess it wasn't to be. I'm just going to check the rest of the settings and everything. I think we're all good. Sorry, I just had to sneeze there. Try to prevent that from going out to all the world. I guess we'll just go back to this screen for now as we wait for the next game to start. Could go around the gold. Yeah, maybe you could have done. Billy might be here soon. Pom there, don't you worry. But yeah, that was a little bit, I don't know. Maybe he was like trying to sort something back here, just like tweak some of his vills, because I know Geo is all about trying to like min-maxing his efficiency on his villagers, making sure they're like working on separate berries and this, that, and the other thing. But I'll quickly. Oh wait, I just realised you can't even see the screen because I turned back to the main screen. Anyway, I'll try and get us into the next game ASAP. Yeah, it looks like Unrestricted sorted them out in the chat. We'll just wait for the next lobby to go up. Wait, have they already started? All right, they already have started. Excellent. I think we're already in the game as well. There we go. Oh, I think I literally got in right as the delay ended, so that was pretty nice. So we've got the sort of greener Highland spawn instead of the more desert looking one. That's interesting. I've seen Geo sometimes only build the one single house as the Shang, because obviously with their team bonus, you effectively get a free house. You can see it's at 16 pop. Oh, it's already pushing the Gazelle. Was that just... Okay, maybe he was just trying to tidy that up a little bit. Maybe try and force it away from this line if he wants to bring the elephants back here. But he has a very wooded area. In fact, both players have a very closed spawn. Be very easy to maybe wall here, and block the gap in there. And again, Geo first to the center. Grabs a couple of elephants. Doesn't get the 3 this time. These other central elephants are a little bit more spread out. So fortunately for Redlash, he is actually going to find at least 1 elephant here. So it's not just completely wasted time. Excuse me, for that villager. What are the odds that he finds this elephant? Oh, he might. Oh, there we go. 100%. Win every time. There we go. 2 elephants each. I think that's all the elephants from the middle. Yeah, because there's 2 here, which I think are Geos. And yeah, 2 here, which are Redlashes there and there. Okay, so... 50-50 and pulled it out. 2 elephants each. So equal that. Kind of nice. Because there's those 2 in the center that always spawn, and then there's 2 more that sort of spawn in a ring around it, and those 2 that spawn in the ring are a little bit more difficult to find. So Redlash getting maybe a little bit lucky with that they were sort of both towards his side of the map when he went to find those. And any idle time, literally only 1 second for Redlash, which might have just been literally just right at the start of the game, just getting into the game. And Alex, it'd be interesting to see if anyone goes less than 20 vils up to tool, or if we do just see the standard 20 vils. We might see anyone playing a little bit more aggressive. Geo just pushing in the rest of his Gazelle as well. This one's a little bit far away. It's a little bit awkward with that little straggler there. That one's doable. It's probably better than what I do with my Gazelle all the time. Always Geo, not Geo, Redlash finds another of his elephants as well. Which only leaves this last one. And it's the classic 1 tile away situation. It looks like he's still just trying to find his... is that trying to find an elephant? It's a little bit far to go, if that's what his idea was. But he's still sort of searching the vicinity. So I'm sort of feeling that was the idea there. But yeah, 20 vils going up now. A little bit of idle time from Redlash. So maybe... he only had the 5 vils on berries, so not maybe taking as much advantage of the lack Viat bonus as he should have done. That's basically put him a vil behind. Well, not a vil behind, but literally 20 seconds behind. Well, 24, literally. Maybe Redlash, because Hunt in AOE2 does gather faster. So I don't know if he still thinks that these elephants do gather faster than these berries. I'm not 100% sure about that. About if he knows about that or not, but for Viat, this is just the fastest. especially without fishing involved, because I think fishing is faster, but I think maybe it's the same for fishing and the berry bonus. So I think it's both 25%. Ooh, a little bit awkward there. Barracks does go up though, and defensive barracks for both players. It is going to be Geo popping up first, but he's not making any clubbers for the time being. And we do see the archery range, so maybe it's just straight into bows. And he does get the villagers pumping from the town centre straight away again. 3 villagers. I've noticed he seems to always like put quite a few. I guess he just wants to get out as soon as possible to get those bows pumping, though he isn't actually making any bows yet. Small wall coming in. And an archery range and a single clubber, maybe just from some initial scouting from Redlash. Lack of bonus, obviously giving those bows for them +2 armor, which doesn't help in their bow war. But they do also get the faster creating military units, which will help them get those units out a little bit quicker. Small wall as well for Redlash. So both players going for a sort of more defensive play. This little bit of a greedy wall here. Maybe you could just wall with the gold, but maybe we just wants to have that gold a little bit more safe for later in the game. This wall here, I guess that's fine. Yeah, he's just going to try and wall here and here, I guess. And that leaves him a decent amount of space. And Redlash, yeah, pretty much doing exactly what I suggested before. So that nice scouting. In fact, he still hasn't quite spotted that elephant. That's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, Axer upgrade did actually come in, as well as the armor. But he's only gone a couple of bows. So, no, sorry, he's only got a couple of axes, so maybe that isn't really worth getting all those upgrades for them. And woodcutting coming in for both players pretty early, but I guess they're both trying to go for the bow play. Looks like... Oh no, it doesn't have 2 down. It just has 2 in queue. I confused myself there. I thought Geo had a second archery range, but it's just the single one with 2 in queue. So, storage pit. Is this going for the stone? Is he just going to try and switch into slingers? Possibly. Might be the response from Redlash here. The slingers do struggle a little bit against the bows if the bows have woodworking and the slingers don't have stone mining. Because you basically have 2 extra range on the slingers, which means you need to have quite a few slingers to close that gap. He's archery range as well, though. I mean, he's moving all the villagers to the wood. So that villager coming out there did go on stone. Oh, now he's adding the slingers in now, and he's a little bit short on stone for the stone mining upgrade. I don't know if I saw that come in. I don't know if anyone else saw that come in, is what I meant to say there. In fact, both players switching onto the stone. This might be a little bit overkill with the number of villagers. It's only 10 stone for each slinger. And yeah, Geo resources, like Unrose was saying, pretty close to the Bronze Age, whereas... I don't know how... Just quite a lot more idle time, I guess, from Redlash. Let's give him a little bit of an eco lead. And it looks like he did find the elephant as well down there. So he must have... Oh, there we go. It's just chilling at the back there. Yeah, Bronze Age in. And yeah, it's like we're just nowhere near bronze for Redlash. I don't know exactly how that big of a difference. Okay, it's just, I guess he's just spent more on units, and like I said, he did get those storage pit upgrades. I mean, it was only, maybe he cancelled tool working. It was only leather armor in the end, so not a huge loss. But I guess it's just the actual units themselves. We do see a little small force come forward. Slingers in the back, but no, stone mining isn't in. So you can try to micro this a bit easier than bows, but a couple of bows from Redlash himself will probably make this a little bit too difficult for Geo to really play that. I think think this is mostly distraction, whilst Geo starts switching into the cavalry. I'm pretty sure that will be the choice as soon as he hits Bronze Age, and he's a single stable at the moment. And this house is going to go down though. Relying on the house walls, always a little bit of mistake. Second stable coming down. He's got enough gold to get a couple of cavalry out, which maybe deals with this. So maybe he doesn't. I mean, he's actually saying that the second stable is going to get denied for the time being. A couple of villagers do go down. I think all of his army down here looks like it got like trapped in the corner by the looks of it and mopped up. And yeah, I mean, he had plenty of stone in bank because he sent all these villagers to the stone, so he could have maybe stone-walled in behind that. And he's lost quite a few, 7 villagers lost. He is in the Bronze Age now, though. Wheels coming in, cavalry, but only this single cavalry because he didn't manage to finish the second stable. And I don't think these archers have the armor. Oh, they do actually. So these bows should quite easily be able to deal with this singular cavalry. In fact, didn't kill a single bow there. And I think this, I was going to say, I think this might be GG. And oh yeah, of course, yes, it's Lakviat bows, yep. So he didn't actually have the upgrade. So in fact, the Lakviat bonus, yeah, it was just the classic case of relying on the house wall. And that denying the second stable meant he couldn't get those two initial cavalry out to try and deal with this. And then you get the Lakviat bonus actually helping protect those bows. So it did actually come up as useful in the end. And yeah, I mean, Redlash did click to bronze. Geo got there first, and all he had to really do was just hold the line. And just, AOE2 play a mistake, just relying on the house wall a little bit too much. He actually was open at the back here. I've only just noticed that now. But yeah, that's 1-0 to Geo. I think Geo might be a little bit annoyed with himself there, because I think he was in a pretty commanding position until that house went down. Like, he was to bronze way sooner. Had the eco set up and ready to get those cavalry units pumping. And I think Shang in the long run, well, the eco bonus is obviously tails off for the Lakviat when you start running out the berries. And then at that point you kind of just rely on their tech tree. I guess the faster military bonus as well also helps. But yeah, 1-0 to Redlash. And we'll get ourselves back to the draft. So, okay, I guess the Lakviat win against the Shang. Like I said, Geo might be a little bit annoyed with himself with that one. Just letting that little small force of bows just get in there. And looks like Hill Country is going to be the second map. So I'm not even actually going to have time to speculate. Just going to go straight in. Oh, I didn't quit out the other game, did I? I always forget to do that. And we'll try that again. And so it's actually going to be the Persians and the Greeks on Hill Country for Geo. Interesting. Greeks normally pretty slow until they get to the Bronze Age. I mean, technically the town centre bonus does apply as soon as you hit Tool Age, but that, I think it's 10% faster working town centre. Takes a while to give you any actual real advantage. Like, it's essentially that you can make 11 villages in the same time that your opponent makes 10. So you are getting your villages out slightly sooner. So it takes a little while for that advantage to build up. Whereas the Persian faster hunt bonus, like if you can find those extra elephants and whatnot, can get you ahead pretty nicely in the early game. Yep, exactly. So I think Redlash is going to need to get something done in the Tool Age. Yeah, Hill Country can be a little bit random. I'll switch us back to the Capture Age. There we go. So again, with this weird allies thing, I don't know if that's just because they've done like a setting on the lobby, or if it's just like part of the DE update. I'm not 100% sure there. But yep, Geo on the Greeks. Like I said, I'm a little bit curious as to why it's been picked here, because normally Greeks is much more of a Citadels map, which is in the map pool. It was one of Redlash's maps that he picked. Oh, I was going to say, I think that villager was actually going to go back to the TC, but I think Redlash Force dropped off in time there. You see there, that villager. Oh, that's kind of weird. Is that closer than that? Maybe the grounding wasn't quite up there. Yeah, didn't quite pay full attention to that and got a little bit distracted. And do have the boar on this map instead of the elephants. And it looks like, again, it's going to be Geo first to the middle. And there is a wolf ready to cause some issues. I don't remember, I think it might have been against Doubt, and I went forward and there was just like a wolf, and it just like, I got scared trying to get away from the wolf, and then the elephant just killed my villager. But Geo does find an artifact and a boar. And he finds the 2 boar, and the wolf doesn't bother him. So Redlash will just fractionally too slow. He's going to see the boars getting away from him. I don't think... It looks like he's trying to chase this, but I think it's kind of too late now at this point to really do anything about it. Yeah. Obviously, as the Persian player, you hate to see this. I don't know what he's trying to do here. I guess maybe he just wants to... Maybe he's using this like free scouting. Oh, he tried to like cancel the law there by building the house on top of it. I don't know if that works in RTR. I know you can do some weird trickery in AOE2 with that. But that does give, well, the thing I was going to say, but I was just like holding my breath, is like Redlash pretty much knows where his opponent is now. So that's one thing he has going for him. But on the flip side, this villager has basically been doing nothing in terms of like actual collection. And I think he's going to narrow it. Oh, he does see that boar. Does he pay attention though? Okay, there we go. So he does grab the boar as well. Where is the last one? It was actually there. Did he see that as well? He does. Okay, so he is actually going to get 2 boar again as well. So it's not too bad. In fact, he's found 3 already. So all things considered, last one's just chilling out over here. Not too bad for Redlash. It's just like a little bit of... yeah, he's got a little bit of idle time, 20 seconds. I guess just from having a little bit less collection rate. The spores are fast. He's alright. I panicked a little bit there. Hopefully one of these villagers doesn't block. I think he's fine. And there we go. So yeah, just a little bit of idle time from all that in the end. But what Redlash has gained, like I said, is he basically knows exactly where Geo is now. Or you can't see the base, but he's got a very good idea. Geo wouldn't... Unless like Geo had tried to play some weird mind games where he dragged it all out all over the place. But yeah, Redlash should know that's probably where it is. And let's have a look. So we've got 2 quite thick wood lines here, which is sort of house blocked his access to that. It would have been quite nice to like wall that, maybe have like a storage pit in the centre at a certain point, but never mind. And barracks coming down now, and in fact, yeah, we've already got Geo going up 21 vills actually to 22. It's actually a little bit slow going to the tool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Persians, I feel like they have to get something done early on. And Redlash is 23 villagers. I don't know, maybe he thought with the 3 boar that maybe he can get away with a fast bronze. And 21 villagers for Geo. So he's not like going to be, obviously he's going to be way quicker to bronze, but not only in terms of relative to this game. Only 4 seconds idle as well, actually, to be fair. And But yeah, Clubber's first Clubber only just comes out now, and again, Greek's not exactly known for their aggression, so maybe Redlash relying on that a little bit. I don't think he found that last boar. No, he didn't. Oh, he does actually see it. Interesting. And he does see his other berries as well. So he's pretty set up eco-wise. He's sending out a couple of Clubbers, though. So the Clubbers are going to collide, or are they just going to pass? Tool working in, and the cavalry upgrades. So scouts are actually coming out from Geo. With the Greeks. And yep, tool working, meaning that's going to be a pretty easy trade for Geo, although we're sort of just chilling at the moment. Guess just waiting for a few more techs to come in. The scouts strike me as a little bit curious, especially as Redlash is already going into axes, and Geo would have already seen the Clubbers coming out, and he'll see the axeman upgrade coming now as well. And I don't think the armor upgrade came in for Geo, so effectively these axes are the same until Redlash gets that armor upgrade in. Scouts are going to come forward though. Walls are up, but still reasonably open for Redlash. Axes are in. There's one loss. It looks like maybe Redlash lost a villager to an elephant or something, because Geo hasn't got any kills and there's one eco death. But Redlash does kill a Vil. And this is the thing about scouts, is they do have the mobility advantage, but when the axes are in your base, they're a little bit difficult. You have to like... Yeah, I mean, it's got a couple of axes here. This is already looking... Oh, Wolf getting involved there. Let's have a look at what the scouts are up to. Did they get killed? I'm not even sure. So yeah, they did there. Yeah, the axes picking him off there. So maybe Geo his attention being pulled a little bit all over the way. This Wolf, is he going to... Okay. Axe puts an end to the Wolf. And it looks like those axes maybe got... Oh, just GG's out. Interesting. I don't... I guess he just thought, I've already committed to the scouts, and the scouts just aren't going to work here, because they know how much Redlash committed to the axes. But he is ahead on Vils. He has the resources to work with. I think maybe just because he had the axes right on his base and he felt like he didn't have the immediate answer to. I have a couple of axes here. He's missing one of the upgrades, but like I said, he's got the food spare. But yeah, stable as the Greeks and scouts. I feel like that's a daring play into the Persians as the Greeks, I would say. So maybe he just thought he wanted to commit to the scout play, and he knew that I wasn't going to work. So maybe that's just why he called the early GG. You can see Redlash had like mostly walled in his eco, and maybe Geo just thought these axes were probably going to kill more villagers, and he was just going to lose his edge. Yeah. I mean, there was that was that game on Mediterranean where he got to Bronze Age before his opponent and GG'd out, and that was the one Billy disagreed with me. Where I feel like Geo was, I mean, he was still, he had a lot of work to do, but I think he was still in a position where he could play the game. But yeah, I don't know. Felt like he maybe folded a little bit too early there. Like he had a couple of axes. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe just thought the flood of units was just going to be stronger, and because he'd already lost a couple of eco. I feel like this is a game where you just play it out for a few more minutes, just see how it goes, and then reevaluate at that point. I think maybe just a little bit too early on the GG. I think it still would have been difficult for him. He does have score lead because he had like the higher Vil count. So I think like, okay, I'll go back to the stats. Like, I'm pretty sure he's gathered more stuff. Yeah, he's 300 resources up. Like, I could sort of see why he's resigned, but like, I feel like he's just done it too early. I feel like you just play it out for a few more minutes just to see how it goes. And so that's going to be a Persian's win. Greek loss. Again, maybe I question the Greeks' choice a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's what the biggest problem with the Persians is like you have to get that early damage, which is why they actually feel like much more of like a hybrid map civ these days, just so that they can actually use that like scout ship bonus as well, so they have a little bit more power early in the game. So that was Hill Country. But yeah, I think Geo probably had a little more fight in him that game. But he felt like the writing was on the wall. And we're going to the next game. It's actually already started, which is going to be on Sahara. So like I said, he did pick Yamato on this map last time in his last series that I watched him. And he does actually do it again. We are already on the map. So let's get to Capture Age. And it is Cimmerians from Redlash. So that is the civ that Yeti played into Geo. And Yeti managed to do a very nice job of walling up the map. This map seems a little bit more challenging to wall just because he's in the corner instead of next to an edge. So maybe the Yeti strategy... Oh my god, he's already got 3 elephants. I mean, if you weren't happy about last game, you should be pretty pleased with that start there. This time, I think, for the first time, Redlash is going to come up with nothing. He's got a little bit lucky in the first 2 games, managing to find those sort of like leftover elephants, but the only one left over was this one here. He did find actually found his 2 nearby ones. He's done a good job of scouting there, so maybe the elephant luck is with him. Yeah, Redlash, Geo still hasn't found his nearby ones, but maybe he could try and scout for those at some point. Looks like he is already doing so. He might just settle for his gazelle. I've seen Geo a lot of times. He is just happy to push the gazelle. Personally, I like to try and find the elephants just because I hate pushing the gazelle, but that's just me. And yeah, so obviously the Cimmerians, pretty slow civ in the early game. The only bonus they have early on is the extra HP on villagers. So they have the 40 instead of the regular 25. And yeah, he is pushing the gazelle. But with the improvements to the cap, I mean, catapults aren't that as big a thing here, but the extra pierce armor that they get on the camels makes them very effective in the early Bronze Age, as they can deal with pretty much all the Tool Age early units, as well as like the initial rush of any cavalry, which is going to be very nice into the Yamato hit. So I don't know if Redlash maybe saw the series of Geo and Yeti and thought I like that idea. It's interesting that Geo has chosen the Yamato here again. But yeah, he's doing a pretty nice job of his pushing his gazelle. I don't know if those elephant are kind of like blocking the way. Maybe he wants to try and like move an elephant away. Because I think these villagers are going to have to go around the elephant here. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure they will block. Yeah, there we go. I just wanted to wait to see what happened there. So I think it might actually be worth just like tagging an elephant to drag it away from the TC there. 20 vils up to... Okay. Way ahead from Geo, actually. 50 seconds idle time from Redlash. So it's going to be a full, like, 36 seconds earlier from Geo. And it's defensive barracks again. First clubbers are coming out. And this is the barracks here. Yep, as well. Defensive. I think Sahara's like very... Because you're always quite near the edge of the map. rushes are even harder, and cavalry tends to be a pretty nice option on this map, and it looks like Geo is going to go for the scouts again. Obviously scouts are a much better option for Yamato than it is for the Greeks, with the cheaper stables and cheaper scouts. He's getting those armor upgrades in straight away. And last time he was a little bit slow getting his scouts out against Yeti, and that gave Yeti enough time to actually get fully walled in. But like I said, this spawn for Redlash, I think he's not going to really be able to wall this up, and in fact he's still not even researched small wall that's coming in now. Just the Axa play. But like I said, it's a long way to go for the Axes, which gives the scouts, these aren't scouts, those are clubbers still. Where are the scouts? Just keeping the scout at home. Maybe just waiting until we get a couple of units out first. And market as well. I think he should have seen... Oh, he's not seen that elephant. That's very unfortunate for him. Market tends to go up quite early from Geo, I've seen. I was going to say maybe it would be nice, because he likes to switch onto the farms. Yeah, maybe if he'd found that elephant, he wouldn't have needed to do that so early. I was going to say it would be nice to maybe just get an archery range and a couple of archers out to prevent any Axa shenanigans, as the Axa does come in. No armor on the Axa for the time being, though. So villagers can still fight back in numbers. And the attempt at the small wall comes in now. And it's actually defensive, well, maybe not defensive, just a stable for Redlash as well. And scouts not doing too much yet as the Axes come in. Well, single Axa. But again, there's no armor on this Axa. Should be fairly easy to deal with. Probably kills the scout. Yeah, bonus damage helping that. And there is the armor actually on the scout. So unfortunately, this is falling apart a bit for Geo again. Because for the elephant, I mean, this Axa could so easily just be dealt with. There we go. Little bit of panic from Geo. I don't know why the text is so massive here. I've only just noticed that. Maybe I'll try and make that a little bit smaller. And the scouts coming in as well, just to be annoying. Looks like scouts are actually in from Geo now, though. I think it did have both. Yeah, it does have both the upgrades in. So this should be maybe a villager or two. Defensive Axes though. Maybe going to kill the scout before the. Okay, villager does go down. So 2 villagers. In fact, 3 apiece. And it looks like Geo lost another village to an elephant again. Well, I think it was actually Redlash last game. Woodworking coming in for Geo now. I don't know if I didn't see. No, it's not in for Redlash yet. There are a couple of scouts. So, okay. Geo holding a little bit stronger this game. And he did actually get the archery range in, and now he's got a few bowmen. For defense, the Axes all at home for the Redlash. And she's going to lose these scouts here. Oh, this is a clubber. Okay, I was like confused as to what that unit even was. But yeah, Slinger's coming out from Redlash now. Seems a little bit questionable because I don't know if he really saw the bows. I think that scout went down. Maybe he just saw the archery range and just assumed this switch. Yeah, he did see the archery range, so maybe that was just a misclick. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'm trying to read too much into that. But you can see Redlash is still very much open. Still quite a long way from the Bronze Age for both players. There's going to be a little bit of fight here, but the scouts are going to be easily able to clear this up. That's the problem with, again, this map. They're so far away from each other. This just gives the mobility of the scouts much more value. Axa does go down, which is going to be nice for Geo though. And we've got ourselves a pretty even game state. Geo is 1 villager ahead, and quite a bit more idle time from Redlash, but I guess, yeah, just Geo losing that extra villager to the elephant made it a little bit more even. Although saying that, it's like 1.5 fills ahead by the looks of it. And Redlash a little bit low HP on his scouts there. I mean, looks like... I thought he was going to... Geo's just switching back into scouts, but he's adding the bows again. But again, it's just a little bit difficult to cross that whole map. If those bows get caught out by like a scout or two, they just go straight to the hell. As Membrilo likes to say. I think there should be a little... Okay, Geo's... I could say 1 for 1, and he does get away with it in the end. I thought Geo was going to lose 2 units at the end, though. It looks like... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like he's working to Bronze Age because he's not making anything, and he's already clicked. This does give Redlash the chance again to try and do some damage. So quite a few defensive bows. And those scouts are damaged. You can see there's like a whole wave of military just like trickling forward. Sort of kind of... Okay, he did maybe wall in it. I was going to say he's sort of like half walled this map, but he's like walled in this little section. There's one scout just chilling here actually. And that is open. Doesn't really have much health though. Maybe could take out a singular villager. That villager in fact is only on 5 HP. So yeah, that scout just chilling. Don't really know what that's about. House walls coming up to try and stop these scouts, maybe? Oh, I think he was just building houses. And I don't think these scouts are really going to be able to get much done. As like I said, they were already pretty low HP. Forward villagers on the wood here. Going to come under pressure from the Axis. I think this Axis, yeah, still doesn't have the armor upgrade. And obviously slingers don't benefit from any of the melee upgrades. They only benefit from the pierce armor ones. And Geo does hit Bronze Age now. And going to switch into the cavalry. Unit of choice for the Yamato. Cheaper cavalry as well, like all the stable units. There's one scout still being pretty pesky though. A couple of eco kills. This thing is going to be a little bit annoying, but nothing too difficult to deal with. And Redlash still quite a long way from getting to bronze. I guess the other Sumerian bonus is that their farms last way longer, which normally isn't relevant until later in the game, but it might be becoming relevant pretty soon. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, like, Jews get to the point where he has to reseed his farms now. But, there we go, Bronze Age coming in now. But 3 cavalry already out. I don't think he has any of the... Don't see, yeah, he doesn't have any of the Bronze Age pit techs. You don't necessarily need those straight away, as long as you've got those Tool Age ones, that's the main thing. I think usually at this point it's better to mass a few units before going for the pit techs. He's got a good number of scouts. And, see, I think that is actually open there as well. Yeah, because that wood's been chopped. So maybe the scouts just sneak in this gap here. Redlash sees it. Where are the cavalry? Hopefully they're not forward. And they're sort of a little bit out of position, unfortunately. Scouts are in. 4 villagers go down. Just called GG already. That's the mass genocide of villagers. Oh yeah, didn't get wheel either, but that's probably the least of his worries here. Did he just delete all his villagers there? Or did the scouts just do all that damage? Just an absolute massacre here, I guess. So it said he went down to 6 vills. Yeah, he just rage deleted a bunch of vills. I was going to say, I don't think the scouts had time to do that much damage. I didn't feel like I missed it all. Yeah, just... I don't know, Geo is just, he keeps getting himself in good positions and then just like leaves himself a little bit exposed. Goes for that, tries to go for the more aggressive play. Redlash, this is like the second game where Redlash has just been on the way to bronze. And it's just like relying on these house walls and there's just a little gap here. Costs him a lot here. That's 3-0 now to Redlash. I feel like Geo's been playing pretty strong. It's just like these small little mistakes is really costing him. And again, in that second game, I think you've got to argue still in that one. In this one, I think the scouts probably would have done quite a lot of damage before the cavalry had time. Yeah, the cavalry was already in the middle of the map here. I mean, I think in this one, I guess maybe you could argue the cavalry could go in and wreak havoc themselves. But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with the second game. He definitely called it too early on that one. But that one, I think, those scouts getting in cost him a bit too much. Alright then. So, I said, like, I feel like the skill level isn't too different between these players, but like I said, just a couple little mistakes from Geo is like just massively costing him. Have they already started? So it's actually Citadel is the next map. So Geo's decided to switch to one of Redlash's maps. He has used Greeks though. So maybe it's just the Egyptians. We'll have a look. Indeed it is. Egyptians against the Hittites. Oops, that's the wrong one. Went to Capture Age instead. And I think this is a fairly militarily pretty even in the Bronze Age. Obviously, the Egyptians have the nice bonus of the cheaper farms. But let's see if shenanigans are afoot. Hittites with the very strong stone throwers as well. Sorry, just sort of reading the chat there. And let's just have a look at the spawn here. I was going to say a little bit weird spawn, but it does have like, he can just delete the walls there, can Redlash. But yeah, Redlash on the Hittite. And there we go, there goes the wall, as I say it. And Geo will delete the back of his base. So, I think the Hittite bonuses make them very, very scary in the Bronze Age. Redlash could try and go for some early slinger shenanigans, because obviously the Hittites don't get slingers, so they can't do that themselves. But probably the order of play is just going to go fast bronze for both players. 3 seconds idle time from Geo. Maybe just forgot to click for a couple of seconds at some point. In fact, he's completely forsaken. He's not even built a granary yet. Interesting. Is he going to build a granary now? Or is he going to go storage pit first? I mean, if he finds this gazelle here, a storage pit like here would be pretty nice. Little bird flying through. I mean, here would be okay as well, but storage pit there would have been very nice. But he's actually going to push the gazelle. I mean, you still need 2 buildings to get to the Tool Age. That isn't just a Bronze Age and Iron Age requirement. That does apply to the Tool Age as well. So, interesting start by Geo here. Like, yeah, you can see he's still got 180 wood in bank. So arguably what he probably should have done is just gone for the storage pit straight away and get that little bit more efficient wood cutting. But instead he's just going to take those stragglers. And again, 15 seconds idle time from Geo. Granary goes up now. A little bit of an odd placement, as you won't be able to fit a farm where that's gold is, and it's also quite far away from that berry there. He's also a bit busy. I said in an earlier game in the series that he normally is quite good at micromanaging his villagers. Okay, sort of sorts them out a little bit more here. Storage pit goes up in the back here for Redlash as he takes out this second elephant. And have we got some, yeah, central gold, stone to fight over. Very clusters just outside the base for each player. And yeah, like I said, sometimes you get these berries in like a place where they're quite well defended, but they're both forward for both players on this spawn. And it looks like a little bit of idle time there. Maybe just a little bit forgetful by Redlash there. I don't know how that... Interesting. Maybe he was on 20, he was about to click and he was like, oh wait, no, I'm meant to be doing fast bronze. So I'm pretty sure that was just lower for a second ago. Anyway, about the same amount of idle TC time at least. And again, normally 23 is the uptime, but we've got... Okay, I guess he's just clicked it, and it's just waiting for that last villager. I was a little bit confused there, but they're both going to go up at 23, which is the standard. Very narrowly faster 4 seconds from Geo. And I don't think either player's even built a barracks yet. No. But you do want to get that up on the way up to tool. So obviously you can put down either the archer range or the stable ASAP. And I expect it probably will be the archery range for both players, as they'll probably both want to be playing the chariot archer in the Bronze Age. Yep, I'm not really sure exactly why there was idle TC time. Again, I feel like Redlash was like close to 0 and then he just forgot to collect villagers for a bit. But yeah, this is obviously match point for Redlash. Only needs to win one more game to get himself to the top 16. Is it top 16? Yeah, top 16. And he is the higher seeded player. But again, I feel like Geo is a pretty strong player and had the potential to cause an upset hit. But maybe just, like I said, maybe a couple of small mistakes and a little bit of lack of mental staying power. Market up. Quite a lot of villagers building that market. He's a little bit short on food. So the resource management, not the best here from Geo. I don't know if he's just getting in his, he's just gotten in his own head at this point. Yeah, he's got quite a lot of food, wood left over. And Redlash already on the way up to bronze. It looks like Geo's trying to buy his way to bronze. This is a little bit clumsy. Did build the extra villager, but it's 25 seconds more idle time. Check collected. I mean, I think we know what collected's going to say. It's probably going to be like 200 more resources for Redlash. Oh, it's actually pretty even. Take it back. But yeah, I think he just had a few too many on wood. But maybe that's just because, like, yeah, Geo has this tendency to switch into farms quite early. Whereas probably should have gone onto the berries a bit sooner. But a few bows actually built. That surprises me a little bit. And woodworking coming in. I don't think wood... Is woodworking in? No, woodworking isn't in for Redlash. And he's going to want to get wheel straight away, so it's actually going to be short siege workshop straight away. Interesting. Wheel comes in now. But I think I would have liked to see the woodworking in. I mean, I've forgotten it myself in my time. The siege workshop's actually going to get... It's not going to get denied, it's going to get delayed. And this is villager. A little bit of micro. Ooh, one more hit. No, 2 more hits would have had to do it. These bows, just I guess, just covering for this siege workshop here, so it'll work out quite nicely. Geo does get up to the Bronze Age himself, getting the wheel upgrade in. Did he just cancel the wheel? No, he didn't. He finished it. Okay. I was just like... saw the wheel disappear and I thought I hadn't had enough time to actually research. For temple, so it's just Siege Monk, AOE2 style. Not even bothering with the Hittites' usual chariot archers. I mean, this could play into the Egyptian monks a little bit. I mean, you would think that if he's picking Egyptians, he's going to do something with priests at some point, but maybe he doesn't. First stone thrower comes out, and chariot archers are slowly coming in from Geo. He's got a lot of, again, maybe just the resource balance not quite set up properly. He's selling food because he's just like, food's pretty much the only resource he has at the moment. If they're just going outside, he's going to build a granary. I mean, I guess I don't know. Priests are coming in now. Wall's going to go down though. Chariot archers aren't really going to do anything against the stone throwers. Priests, not the best against chariot archers, but there's a few distracting units at the front here. And yeah, I think Geo, so he's not quite, he's got himself set up here with the eco. Does have the priest, I mean, want to convert the stone thrower, yeah. Oh, wow. I don't know if it's similar to AOE2 where you can do the warm-up on other units, but he got that conversion very quickly. So that's quite nice for him. And it's interesting that he's not focusing the priest here. Second stone thrower is in though, and that's going to put a stop to one of his archery ranges, which is going to hamper military production. And this priest, and I think, unfortunately, I mean, Redlash has got barely any units here, but he's making them count. I think he needs to convert the stone thrower. He's going for it now. Can it survive? Oh, chariot archer just killing it in time. I mean, I don't know. This feels weird. I'm trying to I'm really not sure what's really going to happen. Gee, don't. No, dude. Geo, my man. I think he just had his resources. He had too much food when he hit bronze, and then that put him off what he was trying to do. I don't know. I mean, it's 4-0 to Redlash, but it feels like Geo is beating himself at this point. Saying it, it didn't feel like Redlash had that much of a push going, but Geo was maybe struggling a little bit. I don't know. What's he got? He's got one chariot, one stone thrower, I guess he's got two stone throwers. And again, Geo's ahead on Vils. It's just, yeah, the eco balance maybe a little bit off. And losing that archery range obviously didn't help. And I guess he was about to lose this archery range as well, which would have put an end to the production. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, yeah, Geo's APM is normally pretty decent. I mean, it's only saying that it's only 39 in this game. I've seen it before where he's closer to 60 though, or probably 47, 50-ish range. I mean, resources collect's not really that relevant. You can just. It's about the same, but it's more the fact that he just has so much already in pocket and that he just hasn't spent. The problem is just his balance of his eco was just a bit off. In the tool age, he just had didn't have enough wood, had a bit too much. Had too much. Didn't have enough food and had a bit too much wood, so he had to delay going up to the bronze. And then when he hit bronze, he just had like way too much food and was trying to sell it. And then like 2 archery. If you want to go chariots, you kind of need like 3 archery ranges really to try and get that mass built up. And yeah, I guess that. I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed because I feel like Geo, and I think Geo probably thinks that he's got a lot more in him than he showed up today. So it's 4-0 to Redlash in the end, so well played to Redlash. But yeah, like I feel like hopefully Geo sticks it with the game and plays more in future tournaments or future games, because he's definitely got skill at the game. He's just look, a couple of mistakes and then maybe just not reading the state of the game correctly in a couple of games. Because it's just 1100 resource food in bank, man. But like I said, he lost both his archery ranges was the biggest problem there. But like it's just like the early bronze didn't have the eco really set up properly, and the tool, well, trying to do the first bronze, the tool was a little bit messed up. Redlash's bronze was much more smooth, getting there a lot quicker. And those stone throwers are very difficult to deal with now, especially Hittite ones with a faster attacking bonus. And yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of this series. I thought we'd see a little bit more back and forth, but not to be on this occasion. So well done to Redlash. Oh yeah, 1,000 wood. I hadn't actually noticed this. I was looking at Geo's resources. I guess, yeah, government centre and a couple of TCs is going to set you back 600 wood pretty quickly. But yeah, right then. So what time are we actually on? 20 past 5 GMT time. Because I was thinking we would maybe, with an extra couple of games, we'd maybe lead straight into the next scheduled game. Actually, it looks like it got delayed a little bit, starting half-fast. But yeah, we do have Jesse versus Genie at 6:30 GMT later today. And then I'm also casting Logan versus Pantera, or aka KT, at 8 GMT, or 20 GMT I should say. Not confuse people. So I guess it's about like another hour until Unrestricted is cast. So hopefully some of you guys will check that out. And I guess for the time being, because I need to go eat myself, so maybe I'll try and find someone to host. Let's have a quick look-see. Cool is streaming, but looks like he's playing DE, sadly. RIP. Why nobody on RTR, man? Feels bad. Blink's on 8D as well. I can't find any streamers. I guess I'll maybe just send you over to Blink still, just to say hi to him. Maybe a few of you can try and encourage him to play RTR. Let's have a look-see. But yeah, thank you for watching once again. to everyone that's come. I hope you enjoyed the games. And what the fuck was that? Someone's oh, is the fucking someone on the other Discord posted something a little bit unsavory there. Hopefully, should have gone flicked over to that tab. I go eat, then come play RTR. Yeah, I need to go eat myself, and then I think it's probably going to be pretty much the next series after that. And like I said, yeah, we're going to raid Blink. I said, wasn't I? So I'll send if any of you want to go watch him. If I can actually type it in properly. And okie dokie. So yeah, I'll catch you guys late tonight for anyone that wants to watch iCast, and check out Unrestricted's cast in about an hour for the Jesse against Genie game as well. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.